By now, I'm sure everybody is well aware of what Matt Gaetz is being accused of, the investigation that is going on with the Department of Justice that stems from an investigation all the way back to the Bill Barr days from the Trump administration. They were looking into one Florida man and his potential sex trafficking and other, related crimes, and it led them to Matt Gaetz, and now he's under investigation for allegedly an inappropriate sexual relationship with a then 17-year-old and possibly traveling her across state lines where he engaged in sexual activity with her, allegedly, and that would violate federal human trafficking laws. Well, Gaetz has some defenders out there, and one of the defenders is Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who on Wednesday morning took to Twitter to defend Matt Gaetz and to kind of pile on with his pathetic excuse for what's happening by saying the DOJ needs to release the tapes instead of allowing another witch hunt to take place. And this is, of course, a reference to Matt Gaetz telling Tucker Carlson on Tuesday evening that there's tapes, because his family is allegedly being extorted for $25 million. He says his dad had to wear a wire at the direction of the FBI, which isn't actually something you ever admit if the FBI tells you to wear a wire. And Gaetz knows this, which is why his story is pretty much laughable. But he swears there's tapes, and the FBI has them, the DOJ has them. There's tapes that will exonerate him. Release the tapes, Matt Gaetz says. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene says, release the tapes. And both of these morons know that that's not something that's allowed. They know that that is not something the Department of Justice can do when they're in the middle of an investigation, if the tapes exist at all. Right? You can't just go ahead and publicly say, well, I know we're still investigating this, but y'all are hungry for it, so here's a bunch of evidence. Go ahead and speculate. They don't do that. And Gaetz knows it, and Marjorie Taylor Greene knows it, and most of the people pushing Gaetz's ridiculous, pathetic excuse know this. But there's a reason they're still pushing this excuse, because most average people don't understand that. They don't understand that the DOJ isn't just going to be like, well, I guess, okay, well, here's your tapes. They don't do that. So they push this out there. They put that out in the ether that, oh, the DOJ is hiding all the real truth. The deep state is against me. And then they get all their little idiot followers to repeat that same talking point. They sow doubt throughout the public, throughout their followers, so that these individuals won't believe it, even if real evidence emerges that shows that Matt Gaetz did exactly what he is being accused of. So that's why they're doing it. Again, at this point, Matt Gaetz is only under investigation for this. He hasn't even technically been really accused of it. He certainly hasn't been charged with it. There's no arrest. There's no indictments. There's, as far as we know, no subpoenas at the moment. So Matt Gaetz, innocent until proven guilty. But his pathetic excuse, on the other hand, if you have any kind of evidence that your family is being extorted, which I would have to imagine that you would, right? I mean, if people say, give us $25 million or we're going to ruin your career, wouldn't there be a record of that somewhere? A meeting, maybe security footage, an email, a text message, something like something you could use to say, look, I'm telling the truth, but you're not able to provide it. You're telling the FBI and DOJ that they have to do that? Sure. That's totally a believable story, Matt. Why don't you stick with that one, okay? No. I don't believe Matt Gaetz. We'll wait and see what this DOJ investigation finds. But things aren't looking good for Matt Gaetz, and it looks even worse when the best defender you have is somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene.